Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with some Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. We're out with the AOM Retold, ladies and gents. We're locking back in to AoE 3 DE for this video because we have some content, which is fantastic to see. And it is the data patch, build, or update, whatever you want to call it. Unfortunately, the DLC has been delayed, and that's probably going to be in the first quarter of 2025. So you're not going to be seeing Denmark or Poland for a little bit of time. However, in spite of that, they are going to give you a juicy, chunky update, balance changes, and some quality of life stuff as well. So this is 15.59076, ladies and gents. And before you lot out there say, oh, Widgie, you haven't been in Age of Empires 3 very long, you're not going to know anything. Trust me, I've still got all that ball knowledge in my head, ladies and gents. I've got many years on AoE 3, so I'm sure I'll be able to make something of this. And of course, I want you guys to let me know down in the comments below what you think about all this stuff. That's also very important to me as well. All right, so let's pass this capybara here with his lovely little bow on. So we do have the update, of course. Now, I'm not going to go through absolutely everything. I'm going to skip campaign, localization stuff, most likely some weird changes in descriptions. I don't really care about that stuff. I'm going to be looking at the main balances for all of the civs, and anything else, guys, you can check it out. Link is down below. All right, let's go through this. So, Civ balance. Let's look at some general stuff here. I'm just going to cherry pick a few things that I think is kind of significant. I like, oh my god, look at this, fishing bows. Reduce sound volume of fishing. That is actually huge. Right, how have they not done this many moons ago? The most annoying thing when you're trying to cast a game is that you can hear the opponent's fishing. Or if you reveal all on the map when you're observing a game, you can just hear the fishing boat like on the other side of the map. And it's incredibly annoying. So hopefully that's going to fix it, which is really nice. The hot air balloon fixed the bug that made descending hot air balloons count as unit losses. Okay, that's kind of funny. What is this? Handshock infantry slightly increased the obstruction radius from 0.49 to point. That's actually huge. So that means that they're going to act more like Cav, I believe, where they're going to be a slightly larger unit. That's actually massive. So that's actually going to cause a problem for that nice, juicy kind of micro that you can do. Sorry, my hair's like a complete mess. That you can sort of weave in and out of units, and you can't do that with Cav. And that was one of the bonuses of having handshock infantry, because they're infantry, so they are generally smaller than a massive horse. So I don't know about this. We'll have to see how that actually plays, that one. Let's have a look. So mounted riflemen no longer considered a counter skirm. Interesting. Napoleon guns cost a little bit more money. Range damage has been reduced for the Lipkar Tatar. I always like those two words together. It sounds great. All right, let's move on a little bit. I'm not going to dwell on too much of that there. Cards and technologies. The Sudanese Red Sea trade sticks out to me. The technology time has been increased on that. This is a really juicy one that you can pick up where you get trade posts. It's really nice. You get trade post rickshaws from it. Really, really nice. Team 3 villagers for the Aztecs, Ethiopians, and Haudenosaunee. Only one of these cards can now be sent per team. Oof. Big oof for those native enjoyers and African enjoyers on team games. Moving on. Aztecs. Let's have a look. We're getting stuck into it, ladies and gents. We're working alphabetically, civ by civ. Let's get stuck into this. So, Aztecs major Uga Booga, as good old Len used to say, the Uga Booga rush here, the 11 Mayan allies, where you get 2 shipments of them. Now the cost has increased, ladies and gents. 20% increase on that, quite significant. That is going to delay the timing, and if you want to mine coin in transition, which is that a thing nowadays? You guys let me know down in the comments below. Do you still see that from Aztec players, mining in transition from age 1 to 2, double shipping the Mayan allies and getting a ton of slingers and all that kind of stuff? Is that still a thing? Make sure to let me know. 9 Zapotec allies here. This one as well is another one. That's 20% increase in coin, which is kind of huge. A support card here in the 3rd age has now been moved to age 4. The cost has also doubled, and the Jaguar Prow Knight count to 12. So this ships Jaguar Prow Knights. I can't remember this support card. I'm going to be honest with you, ladies and gents. The Autonton Slinger, we just call them the Slingers. Their train time and cost has been increased. Oh dear. That's quite significant, actually. Or is it? A couple of seconds on it for the train time and a little bit extra wood. Is that the worst thing for the slingers? I don't know. We'll have to see that in practice. But yeah, so it looks like nerfs overall, ladies and gents, for the Aztecs. Moving on to Brits. British, mate. We got Queen's Rangers in Age 4, the Glorious Revolution. Corrected the technology effects by removing the unmentioned swap of the longbow cards with Rangers. Yeah, that's when you can convert all of your longbows to like Rangers that are kind of like skirms. So yeah, so they've just corrected the technology there. Rangers now also research the Guard Rangers upgrade, and the Ranger can also be trained in the American Citadel obtained via the Maya settlement in case Rangers are enabled for training. I tell you what, some of these things, guys, coming back to AoE 3, there's just too much in this game. Like, there's too much stuff. It's so, like, bloated with... I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be a negative Nelly, but there's just so much terminology and stuff to learn in this game. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just stupid. But I just feel like there's so much crammed into this game. It's kind of insane. Okay, Chinese Disciple train time has been doubled. Oh, what the hell? That is redonk. Double train time. So this is when you have your Explorer and you can train up to 5 Disciples. Oh my lord. That is really rough. 14 seconds it's going to take for you to get a batch of those out now rather than 7 seconds. Hand mortars damage multiplier against the siege troopers has been reduced. Oh my god, that's huge as well. So against galleons and monitors, the hand mortars are just nowhere near as good now. 2 times from 6 times. That is massive. And the Beiyang army, this is a fantastic card, is now going to cost you more. So we're not going to have that nice timing that you sometimes get when you get into the Third Age. If you continue to play with the old Han armies, so like your step riders, your oh my god, what are they called? I can see them now. The archery unit, the archer cav unit, for God's sake. I can't even remember the name of it. That's so sad. Anyway, those 2 cav units, that's going to really cost you a lot more now, which is kind of rough. Dutch, moving on. We've got the Balanda Hitam. I don't even know what this card is in Age 4. Now upgrades the Akan and Kobe, which is the area of effect musketeers that you get from Ethiopia, to champion status, up from elite, but the build limit of 30 longer scales with additional Akan settlements. Actually, no, the Akan and Kobe is not that. It's there with Hauser, sorry. Apologies. We've got a Team Mortars card, now improves the hand mortar attack of all Grenadier type units. Nice. As opposed to just Grenadiers. And the Ward Gelders in Age 2 now arrives in 40 seconds, down from 60. What? The Ward Gelders is the one where you can get like the Merc Swiss Pikemen. And War Gelders, cheaper Swiss pikemen, can again be trained in Age 2, but now have minus 20% of their original strength, which is restored upon reaching Age 3. That's kind of crazy. That arrives a lot quicker now. So you might still get some annoying Ward Gelder timers in like the Second Age. I've seen those cheesy strats. All right, moving on to African Civ here. Ethiopians. I've never really played much with Ethiopians. I sort of know how they work, so let's see what we got. The Aben, so the healing ranges and rate has been reduced. Wow, that's quite significant. This especially, holy hell. 10 seconds, 10 HP a second to 6. Good lord. Can no longer be trained in batches, but individual train time has been improved to 24 seconds. That's absolutely massive as well. Because you normally would get the Abens if you need to generate a lot more gold quicker. They're very good at collecting gold from the monasteries. So doing them in batches was great. Now you've got to individually train them. Oh, God. Beekeepers in the Second Age fixed the bug on this card, not improving the food gather rates. Okay, that's good. It's been improved. There's some Mexican team card changes there. Mountain Monastery. Oh, no, the line of sight's been reduced. They were so good. Yeah, they were really good because you'd stick one out further out of your base. You wouldn't put it on a gold mine close to your base. You'd put them quite far out so you get a really nice line of sight. And now you can't even get that. Kind of sucks. All right. Prize ball. Reduce the cattle's amount of fat and food to 600 from 750. Okay. Moving on to the French. French Revolution no longer grants a mortar. All right. Interesting. The guillotine fixed a bug that resulted in the card granting wood instead of food. Okay. This one I probably know of. The train time increasing 30% faster than a CDB, down from 40, so a little bit of a nerf there. The other things I'm not too familiar with. I'm sure you guys are more than me. Germans, the Ulan melee damage, big one for the Germans. Look at this. The Ulans, they're not going to be able to do as much damage, reduced to 35 from 37. Not a huge change. We'll see how that one goes. And the Age 4 cavalry upgrade here now increases Ulan attack and HP by 20, up from 15. So there's the counteracting factor there, I guess. But you got to get to Age 4 to get that. Moving on to one of my favourite civs, the Haudenosaunee. Quite an underplayed civ, but a very strong one. Tomahawk Warrior, no longer considered as a gunpowder trooper. Ooh! So they're still heavy infantry, but they're not a gunpowder trooper. I wonder what that means. There's got to be some things... There's got to be some units that have multipliers or something against gunpowder troopers. That is interesting. I wonder what that means. I'm sure you nerds out there can let me know in the chat below, in the comments below, what that actually means. Town Destroyer card, the cheese, improves the War Chief siege damage now by 1,000%, down from 1,400%. So we're not probably going to be seeing that cheese anymore that we used to see, where you just rush with your... You'd rush with your Explorer, you'd buff your Explorer, he'd have a huge amount of HP, you'd then get Town Destroyer, and he'd just beeline it to the TC and siege everything down. But that is quite a significant reduction, so I don't think you're going to see Town Destroyer around that much. All right, Inca, another favourite for me. If you didn't know, guys, I am a bit of a native enjoyer. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me. But Inca, I kind of like Inca. Okay, so the Age 4 here, the Autarky Cancer House Wood Trickle has been improved. Lovely stuff. The Chimu Runner, train time reverted to 27 seconds from 30. Lovely. So we're going to get Chimus in a little bit quicker. The Haraka added 10% siege resistance. Very nice. The Jungle Bowman poison effect now inflicts 25% more damage against heavy cav and hand shock infantry. Oh, that's good. That's going to make Jungle Bowman play a lot nicer because of the poison effect. I love that. That's fantastic. Because the Jungle Bowman, that's why they did this reduction in the first place, is because Jungle Bowman in mass could just delete cav. So it wouldn't matter how much cav you have. The poison effect would just build so much on cav. And the actual poison damage isn't affected. That's raw damage, raw source damage. So it doesn't reduce at all. The poison damage ignores what kind of unit it is, if that makes sense. It's like lethal damage. It's kind of crazy, and now they're actually going to bring it up a bit. So okay, that's going to be interesting. The Stronghold fixed the incorrect display number of projectiles. Base damage has been reduced. Okay. And some ceremony in Age 4 here. I don't really know that one, going to be honest with you. Indians, one of my loves back in the day. They're probably one of my most played civs, but I haven't played them too much recently, I must say. But the Indians, let's have a look. So we've got a few cards here. Land reforms now also affects the construction speed of Mango. The battlefield construction, not too familiar with that card. Rocketeers, of course, in Age 4 is where you get the British rockets. Now also adds a damage multiplier against all infantry units to all arsonist attacks. I don't know what that is. Arsonist attacks. I don't know what that means. Siege Elephant, range resistance increased. Very, very nice. That's actually really good. Just raw range resistance. That's good. The Raj in Age 2 fixed a bug with the Hindi villager cost increasing by 5 wood instead of 5 food when the foreign trading company's card was sent. Okay. Moving on to a civ that I've never really played that much and doesn't really ever interest me. It's the Italians. And there's quite a lot of change to all of these Basilica cards here. So all of these Basilica cards taking a shorter time to arrive. So sort of slight buffs there across the board for Italy. And this Arsenal card in Age 4 has moved to Age 3. The Papal I used to say PayPal, and I used to get ridiculed in the comments section. So it's Papal or Papal. Definitely Papal, I think. Papal Guard looking good now. Very, very nice. And the Papal Guard in Age 4, the Guard upgrade cost for Halberdiers, Pikemen, Pavisiers are now set to 200 wood, 200 coin. And free Pikemen. Instead of 600 wood for Guard Pavisiers, 300 wood for that. Oh my God. Wowee. So looks like across the board, the Italians have got a nice buff. Let's have a look at the Japanese here. So we've got an Age 4 card, 47 Ronin. Masterless Samurai Speed has been increased. Wowee. Nice. The Ninjutsu Zukai added the 5 times damage multiplier against native warriors for consistency with the regular ninja. Nice. And the Samurai siege damage has reduced to 60 from 67. Yeah, Samurai's had insane siege. That is some big siege. Sorry, I'm looking at my viewfinder. I can see my hair is just horrendous. And then we've got a Team Mortar card here. So the mortar attack range has been reduced on that. So not huge effects there for Japan from a 1v1 supremacy standpoint. Lakota, baby. Pretty much my favorite civ. I still love this civ so much. So let's have a look at it. Oof, we've got more. Can they just lay off like Lakota and giving them buffs, nerfs left, right, and center? It is incredibly irritating. And I'm just looking down as I go through here, and it's not good news for Lakota. So the 13 Infinite Bison has been reduced to 11. You do get a nice new card for Age 4 where you get 18 as a one-off. The good old Bow Rider, their actual range damage has been reduced to 18 from 12. Damage multiplier against it has also been reduced from Heavy Cav. Other multipliers remain unchanged. The good old Chetan Bowman. Look at this. This is absolute just disgusting here. Damage multiplier against heavy infantry has been reduced. It's like, what more can they do? Again, like for poor Lakota here. Really, really going to struggle. Especially in the second age. Lakota War Chief can no longer slow down enemy units with melee attacks. Wow, so you can't even snare. Oh my God. I'm not playing Lakota anymore, I don't think. I need to find a new civ to play. Malta, fixed gun. Population cost has been reduced on the fixed gun by a little bit. Trip to Jerusalem. The resource cap has been reduced. Oh, that's huge. That's actually a significant nerf there. That's a real shame. The Wigner Court construction improves gather rates from allied cherry orchards. That's good. That's good for team gameplay, I believe. Moving on. Mexicans. We've still got quite a lot to go through. I'm going to try and whiz through this as quick as I can, ladies and gents. Mexicans, don't really play them that much, to be honest. We've got a few revolutionary changes. We don't have as many culverins in the Rio Grande. The Soldados has been reduced significantly as well, so Lionheart's going to be upset about these revolutionary changes. I just know it. The Baja Californian as well. Siege damage has been reduced on the filibusters, just by a little bit. Not huge, but still not ideal. The Central America Revolution, though, there's a 3 outpost card. Look at that. Very nice. All right, moving on. The Ottomans. 12 Jans in Age 4 has now been increased to 14. Oh, that's fair, I think. I think they got kind of a hard time in the for that card. Wasn't as much value. The Kapikulu Corp here, which is the Palace Intrigue, the melee armor has now been increased. Now only applies to Sipahi instead of all heavy cav. That's good. Are they going to change Sipahi, ladies and gents? Let's have a look. The Topchu Corp, I think, is the Palace Intrigue one. Cost has increased. So, yeah, that's a significant nerf there. And the Nizam Fusilier, range in stand ground stance has been reduced. Good. The Lunar Fusilier plays to wind me up. Sipahi cards, food cost of industrial age Sipahi cards has been increased by plus 50 for everyone. 4 Sipahi cost increased. Oh, it's going to cost a lot more to send these Sipahi cards. That's cool. But they haven't actually changed Sipahis at all, which I think is kind of crazy because those cav are just a complete joke. Portuguese. Oh, we got a little bit more of a nerf here. 10% reduction. That's significant on the Fatorius card. Just for the food trickle, though. I thought Fatorius trickled in all resources, right? Is it just the food trickle? Interesting. Grape Shot in Age 4 now improves rate of fire only by minus 0.25. Let's have a look at the Russians. Can the Russians get some kind of buffs, ladies and gents? They've always been kind of down, unfortunately, which is a shame. Let's have a look. 6 Cossacks, right? In age 3, you get an extra one. Fantastic. That's always good. Blockhouse cannon in age 3 now also sends a falconet. Nice. Detonates? I don't know this one actually. Blockhouse HP improvement reduced, but now also activates frontier blockhouses. Didn't even know of this card. Adi Poruchik. What's it doing? Change the cost ratio to 210 and 150 instead of 150 and 210. That's actually really good because food is the quickest thing to gather. So that actually makes it... Well, is that going to harm villager production because it's going to cost more food? I don't know. You could see some Poruchiks on the battlefield. Who knows? We rarely see them. It's a really sad state of affairs that they really don't get used that much. The Russian-American company card added no longer activates the frontier. Blockhouses gather rate for huntables reduced to 20 from 30. Wait, hang on a minute. Wait, this is the card that you get with the states. You now get this for the Russians. This is huge. But you don't get the... Wait. Do you get blockhouses with this? It says it no longer activates the frontier blockhouses. Right, so you don't get it, but you get gather rate for huntables is 20%. Is that it? Is that all you get for this card? I'm confused. I'll have to see that in practice. I'm not too sure about that one. There's a couple of the treaty card here in age 2. It's a new card. You get 4 Royal Huntsmen, allows you to train additional from the Royal Embassy. Interesting. And Patriarchy in the second age now reduces the Inquisitor train time. I don't think that'll be used that much, to be honest. Let's look at the Spanish. We just got one for them. Marvelous Year in age 3. The gather rate improvements has been reduced. So a nerf, unfortunately, there straight off the bat for the Spanish. Swedes. Let's have a look. There's a pikeman reduction here. Cost reduction on the pikeman in age 4. The hacker pellet, here we go, ladies and gents, no longer classified as hand cavalry. Yikes. So what does this mean? So they're no longer classed as hand cavalry. I don't know what that means for the counter system in the game, because they're a light cavalry unit, aren't they? I don't know. Gonna have to look. Hang on. So yeah, they're light ranged cavalry and they're hand cavalry. So, but there are also cavalry. Hand cavalry. Yeah. Heavy cavalry are considered, okay, but not heavy cavalry. Yeah, so Hacker Pellet was one of them. Like the Berber Camel Rider was as well, tagged as hand cavalry, but it wasn't heavy cavalry. So now this is no longer classed as hand cavalry at all. So it's just not. Interesting. HP has been reduced. Not too much there, but it's going to be significant. Melee damage as well. It's quite significant. Hand infantry, hand cavalry attack card has been removed. Jesus. So this is going to be quite rough for Hacker Pellet play in age 2 if you want to do it. But there is a new cavalry damage in age 2 card added. Improves all cavalry damage by 15%. Oh. Okay, so rather than hand infantry and hand cav, it's just hand cav now. Okay. This in age 4 though increases HP for hussars and hacker pellets by 20 from 15. Nice. And March of the Hacker Pellets, speed improvement reduced. Oh dear. So yeah, some Hacker Pellet nerfs definitely. And finally, United States. There's a lot going on here. Let's unpack it. Buffalo Soldiers now also increases the Carbine Cavalry range. Nice. Carbine Cavalry range in age 3 has been reduced. Oof. Little oof there. And General now grants 70 XP when downed. Oh, the actual General. Sorry, I read that as General. Okay, gotcha. Okay. Kentucky Hunters now sends 4 Owl Hoots down from 5. Pennsylvania Cavalry corrected the cost from 625 food to 625 coin. Oh, wow. That used to be food, didn't it? Yeah. Oh my God, it's coin now. Oh my God. See, look, the Russian-American company. This is massive. You don't get the frontier blockhouses, but I guess you get normal blockhouses, right? It's saying no longer activates the frontier blockhouses. You must still get blockhouses. But that's massive for Russia because Russia has this card. that's going to be really good for them because they need good food economy for villagers and stuff. So that's actually massive. Scottish immigrants, an annoying card that you sometimes see as a cheese in the Second Age, fixed an issue regarding the captural trading post not being considered by this card. Okay, not a huge thing there. And the Virginia plan now takes 50 seconds to arrive, up from 40. Oof. State capital, also, yeah, the XP of that is reduced. Good, because it was ridiculous the amount you'd get from that. Right, as I always say, ladies and gents, I'm not going to go through the revolutions. I'm going to look at this bit here, the general revolutions, but I'm not going to look at any specifics because I just don't know the revolutions. There's so many of them, and Lionheart and others specialize in that way more. But look at this, revolting now takes 15 seconds to complete, up from 10. Is that significant? I don't know. Probably not too much, to be honest. All revolutionaries and derivatives of it. Okay, like variations, right? Have their speed reduced to 4.5. Wow. And this one in particular has had its cost reduced, apparently. The Ottoman Expedition Army. And there we go. There's all the revolutions you can think of here, ladies and gents. And that is it. Quite an extensive one. What do you guys think? I want you to know, so let me know down in the comments below about this update. It is live now, so go ahead, jump into it, test it out. I'll leave the link down below for all the details. Let me know in the comments what you think about this. We haven't got the DLC. We know we weren't going to get it, unfortunately, but hopefully we're going to get it in the new year. I'm sort of looking forward to it. I'm not going to cast any more negativity over it. It's Denmark and Poland. It is what it is. I'll be checking it out, of course. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll catch you in the next video or the next stream. And there will be some AoE 3 stuff coming in the near future. I haven't entirely forgotten about it. I know I've been consumed with AOM Retold, but I will be coming back, don't worry. All right, guys, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.